What exactly is colorism? Colorism is when there are prejudice, discriminative beliefs held against individuals with darker skin complexions, most commonly found intraracially than interracially. Good afternoon, my name is Kanaya Patrick, and I will be presenting colorism's effects on history through the historical timeline. My research question was, how has colorism impacted social perceptions, opportunities, and self-esteem within diverse communities across different cultural contexts? And my answer to that is simple. The impact of influence. It affects all aspects of life as well as meeting all the areas in my question. Understanding where an issue stems from is the perfect place to start understanding how it can be fixed and prevented from happening once more. The following quote that encouraged me to research such a topic was a quote by George Santayana, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. These are the top 3 most common ways colorism's history is known from developing for. Colonialism, which is when one powered place or person ends up developing control of an area or another group of people that become dependent among that ruling power. Slavery, in the simplest of terms, is when one human being is being owned by another. And lastly, cultural hierarchies, which is when there's a strict structure within a culture that develops by making all their decisions from the top and then downward. Source from EBSCO, the article, A Call to Action, the Need for a Cultural Psychological Approach to Discrimination on the Basis of Skin Color. It enunciates that colorism has firm systemic roots as a result of the socio-historical trajectories of different Asian societies that have attached cultural meanings to skin color. For example, India, a South Asian country, Bollywood's media influence not only influenced the celebrities' social groups, but also the social groups of their consumers. A source from EBSCO titled India advocates that for years activists have been speaking up about colorism in Indian culture, from Bollywood's promotion of light-skinned actors to the global multi-billion-dollar skin whitening industry. Wealthier parties tend to revolve more around injections as they are considerably quick, small, and have more of a natural transformation. As you can see here, the before is a darker brown complexion and after it's lighter, and pay attention to just how even and simple this is. Other ways to do this is laser therapy and chemical peels. In China, the women would paint their faces with rice flour and lead powder. This time frame is also known as the Golden Age, which included the Song Dynasty and the Tang Dynasty. As you can see up top, there's a woman with the preferred skin tone painted on her face and her natural skin tone shown in hues of her hands, her ears, as well as her hairline. And in the tapestry below, you can see the preferred painted skin tone as well as some of the traditional wear. The reason for the lightening of the skin could be to symbolize status, beauty, or wealth. Relatively speaking, with European culture, they also tended to lean towards makeup products. The makeup did contain high levels of lead, mercury, ammonia, and arsenic powder. This would result in illness, decay, and death. As you can see below, there are 3 different women of this time period with different outfits as well as varying in the lightening of the skin. As you can see up top, there are the powders and liquid containments for the application process of all of the makeup during that time frame. Africa leaned more towards creams as injections were available as well as laser therapy and chemical peels, but they did not really lean towards makeup products as it really wasn't a big contender or gave the best results as a cream would. These cream contaminants did have high levels of mercury and other harmful lightening agents. Mercury can damage kidneys as well as affect the nervous system or cause pain or permanent rashes, which would cause harsher elements to the skin than rather when they first started to get rid of the pigmentation. Elevated mercury levels in their hair and blood can be tested, as well as urine to show mercury levels, and mercury can be found in some lightening products till this day in Asia and Africa. Source from EBSCO, Race and Color Revisiting Perspectives in Black Education, enunciates further that although attention into interracial chasms such as the Black-White achievement gap is common, limited efforts are devoted to understanding how and why colorism motivates imbalances within communities of color. Although the attention to interracial chasms such as black and white gap is common, my answer to that is simply influence and status, further supporting my claim with the stimulus provided by College Board titled Thompson, Simone Biles, and the Most Human Meaning of Courage. It says that Simone knew her decision would be met with dissuasion. She understood that telling the truth would get her labeled as a quitter. From the same stimulus provided by College Board, it further enunciates that sports culture dictates that Biles was supposed to power through the doubt, face the anxiety, and deliver us a moment which we can endow her with the special honor we bequeath to the courageous. But what Biles did was look right in the face of a foe we all know well and don't like to acknowledge. Reality. Simone can be considered a large, impactful advocate for the Black community, especially darker women. But with that title comes with its faults. Stepping down, she knew her image would be altered. But instead, Simone changed her mindset and her actions and chose no longer to live only by applying herself to the influence of the world, leading me to my resolution. Colorism has shown its impact on cultural context throughout history by shaping its social norms, attitudes, behaviors towards society as people based on their looks. Understanding its historical roots and ongoing effects is essential for promoting a better outcome. By addressing and truly understanding the idea in its entirety of the topic, and with this in mind, a better time of unity can be a possible future. Thank you.
All right, 2 questions for you. What evidence did you gather that you didn't use, and then why did you choose not to use it?
I gathered a lot of information with housing and college applicants that I felt wasn't really sticking the best, so I ended up taking it out because I feel like I wanted to focus on more of the media output and focusing on the bigger groups of people that really influence the consumers, which is the common public.
All right, and what advice would you have for other people that take on this subject?
I definitely think that anything, especially this, is not just all statistics. I would definitely reach into more personal stories like Simone's, because that really gives you firsthand of how the situation is today in the most present time.